Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agmofwebe. President Bola Tinubu has called for more collaborative efforts between the federal councils and traditional rulers in spreading developments across the country. He said that the successful execution of plans was already being seen with changes that will transform the economy through financial re-engineering of the country. President Tinubu spoke during a reception held in his honor by the government and people of Lagos State at the Lagos House in Marina. He said the reach of the councils and the powers of traditional rulers in society would be harmonized to provide the needed infrastructure and socio-economic development to people at the grassroots. According to him, the councils can complement the various efforts at ending poverty and terrorism through provision of education, increasing enrollment through the school feeding program, as well as making quality primary health care accessible to the people. The president therefore pledged to work with the National Assembly in ensuring that constitutional roles are given to the traditional rulers and independence for the councils. Niger State Governor Mohammed Bago has signed the state's 2024 613.2 billion naira budget into law. The governor signed the budget on Wednesday as after the State Assembly had passed it, noting that the budget holds a lot and assured residents that it will be implemented accordingly. Speaking after signing the appropriation bill, Governor Bago commended the efforts of the legislators for the quick passage of the bill, saying it was unprecedented. He restated his administration's commitment to strengthening the existing synergy with the legislative arm, adding that he has directed that the legislative quarters at the three arm zone be completed in the next 3 months for them to have a befitting accommodation. Bago warned officials of his government not to generate and spend the state revenue or face his wrath. Let's turn to Nigeria's southwest now, where Lucky Aiyedatiwa, the erstwhile acting governor of Ondo State, has been sworn in as the substantive governor of the Sunshine State. The chief judge of the state, Justice Olusegun Odushola, administered the oath of office on Aiyedatiwa. This development followed the death of Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu on Wednesday after a prolonged battle with prostate cancer. He had transferred power to his deputy, Aiyedatiwa, via a letter to the State House of Assembly on December 13, 2023, when he was to proceed on medical leave in Germany. The event, which took place at the governor's office in Akure, the state capital, had in attendance the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Olamide Oladiji, Secretary to the State Government, Oladuni Odu, some State Executive Council members, Head of Service, Pastor Kayode Ogundele, former Deputy Governors, Permanent Secretaries, Chairman of the All Progressives Congress in the state, Ade Adetimehi, Chief of Staff to the late Akeredolu, Chief Olugbenga Ale, party supporters, among others. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, has condoled with the government and people of Plateau State on the recent killings in the state, stating that humanitarian support will be provided for the survivors. In the post shared on her X handle on Wednesday, Edu assured that the ministry, in line with the directive of President Bola Tinubu, will collaborate with the Plateau government to bring humanitarian succor to the survivors of the attacks and the affected communities. She added that the ministry will not relent in its efforts until all humanitarian crises are resolved. The resurgence of diphtheria in 2023 emerged as an unexpected and formidable foe, challenging health systems across the country. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, noted that people most at risk of contracting diphtheria are children and adults who have not received any or a single dose of the prevalent vaccine, people who live in a crowded environment in areas with poor sanitation, and healthcare workers who are exposed to suspected or confirmed cases of diphtheria. More than 500 people, mostly children, have died of diphtheria in Nigeria since the current outbreak began in 2022. Data published by the NCDC spanning EpiWeek 19, 2022 to EpiWeek 48, 2023 indicates that 20,684 suspected cases have so far been reported from 33 states across 280 local government areas. Kano State, the epicenter of the disease, with 13,461, followed by Yobe with 2,334, Katsina 1,509, Bauchi 1,139, Borno 9,068, Kaduna 486, and Jigawa 526 accounted for 96.9% of suspected cases reported. Of the 20,684 suspected cases, 12,086 were confirmed cases distributed across 148 local government areas in 20 states. You're watching the Midday News live from Nigeria's capital in Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. When Midday News returns, federal government fines British American Tobacco $110 million, drops criminal charges. The news continues shortly with details of these and more stories for you right out of this break. Please do stay with us. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the Midday News with Uyag Mofwebe. Let's jump to the foreign scene now, where extreme cold and dense fog have caused travel chaos in India's capital, Delhi, and other parts of northern India. More than 100 flights and 25 trains in the city have been delayed due to poor visibility. The city witnessed one of the foggiest days of the season so far, with visibility dropping to below 50 meters on Wednesday. A thick blanket of mists in the morning brought traffic to a crawl and led to accidents in some parts. Dense fog is common in the region at this time of the year, as various parts of northern and central India experience cold waves. Cold weather is also continuing in most parts of the northern states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and in Indian-administered Kashmir. India's weather office has issued an alert saying the foggy conditions would continue for the next 5 days. It has also asked people to avoid going out unless there is an emergency and to cover their faces adequately when outdoors. And it's still in Asia. South Korean actor Lee Seung-shun, best known for his role in the Oscar-winning film Parasite, has been found dead. Authorities have confirmed the actor, 48, was found unconscious in a car in one of Seoul's main parks on Wednesday. It is unclear if Lee took his own life, but police said they achieved or received a report that he had left home after writing a note. He had been under investigation for alleged drug use since October. In Parasite, Lee played the patriarch of the wealthy Park family, which is infiltrated by members of a poor family posing as unrelated individuals. The visual social satire won 4 Oscars, including Best Picture quality. On a sad note, more than 40 people were feared dead when a tanker truck exploded after crashing in central Liberia, the country's chief medical officer said on Wednesday. The tanker carrying gasoline crashed and tipped into a ditch along a road in Totota, about 130 kilometers from the capital, Monrovia. Dr. Francis Kete said it was difficult to determine the number of victims because some had been reduced to ashes, but he estimated that more than 40 people were killed in the incident. Police earlier had put the death toll at 15 and said at least 30 people were injured as locals gathered at the scene. And now time to talk business. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has affirmed the safety of funds in Nigerian banks, emphasizing the stability of the country's banking sector. The Apex Bank therefore advised the public to continue with their regular banking activities without succumbing to the alarm caused by unverified reports not originating from the regulatory institution concerning the health status of the nation's banks. The CBN stated that it is fully equipped to carry out its statutory duty of upholding a stable financial system in Nigeria. The clarification comes after the report by the CBN Special Investigator, Jim Obaze, that the embattled former governor of the bank, Godwin Emefiele, had used proxies to set up two financial institutions. The federal government, through the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has fined British American Tobacco, BAT, and its affiliate companies $110 million. This is for alleged infringements of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act, National Tobacco Control Act, and sundry legal instruments. The Commission said on Wednesday in a statement. In addition, it has said BAT must subject itself to compliance and monitoring for a period of 24 months, mandatory public health and tobacco control advocacy, and provisions of written assurances to the Commission. The Nigerian stock market resumed trading on Wednesday after the Christmas holidays with a loss of 139.34 billion naira due to profit taking. The Nigerian Exchange Limited All-Share Index and market capitalization both declined by 0.34%, moving down from preceding days 74,000 to 23.27 points and 40.507 trillion naira respectively, to 73,768.64 points and 40.367 trillion naira. The NGX ASI year-to-date return was at 43.94%, while the total volume traded advanced by 2.27% to close at 423.91 million naira, valued at 12.94 billion naira, and traded in 8,901 deals. At the close of trading, the market recorded 38 gainers, 21 losers, and 61 unchanged. Nigerian companies entered the final quarter of the year with a cash reserve of 2.3 trillion naira, the largest cash balance in recent history. This data was compiled from over 30 of the largest companies listed on the Nigerian exchange over the calendar year from January to December. The data excludes commercial banks and insurance companies whose business models allow them to receive cash on behalf of the customers. The cash balances of the companies under consideration represents a 27% increase from the 1.8 trillion naira reported as cash and cash equivalents at the end of 2022. These companies reported a total revenue of 8.05 trillion naira in the period under review. The cash balances underscore the liquidity of the Nigerian companies in a year fraught with macroeconomic challenges and subsequent monetary policy tightening. Moreover, this year, the economy recorded its highest money supply in history, surpassing 66 trillion naira by the end of September 2023. And beyond Nigerian shores, Asian stocks were trading largely higher on Thursday, with Hong Kong leading the gains as investors worked on expectations the U.S. Federal Reserve will cut rates next year. Global markets have been on the front foot since the Fed's most recent meeting, when it signaled its rate hike cycle could be nearing an end as global inflation slows. The Japanese exchange's performance was also hammered by the fact that the right to claim dividends for many shares has now expired, driving down the overall markets. Hong Kong and Seoul led regional gains across Asia, with the Hang Seng closing more than 2.5% up. And now, time to get some excitement out of sports. Tottenham Hotspur's Son Heung-min was named to South Korea's Asian Cup squad on Thursday, and coach Jurgen Klinsmann said it was about time they ended their 64-year continental title drought. Was forward Hyang Hee-chan, who scored his 10th Premier League goal of the season against Brentford on Wednesday, was also among Klinsmann's 26-man selection for the tournament, which kicks off in Qatar on January 12. Son will captain a squad that includes Bayern Munich defender Kim Min-jae and 22-year-old Paris Saint-Germain attacking midfielder Lee Kang-in. South Korea have been drawn in Group E and will face Malaysia, Jordan, and Bahrain in the first round. And that's it on Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using a Global TV entry and other handles as you now see on your screen. I'm Uyi Agumofwebe, thanking you so very specially on behalf of the entire production team.